Somebody call security.
Awkward.
Access granted.
Uh-huh.
Viewer discretion is advised. Go where no man has gone before. It'll make your head spin real bad.
Broadcasting live from 70-degree downtown Cleveland, it's station WDWL TV, home of not one, but 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and an Oscar. And as we all know, the flashing G stands for your host, me, Grumpy. And unfortunately, our show is brought to you by Grumpy Vulture Productions. I like the trooper when he goes, I have no idea where I'm at. Talk about rural. Jesus Christ. Original back roads that used to be the roads of the moonshiners. I like that trooper. He goes, I have no idea where I'm at. But boy, I'll tell you what, he didn't give up. Jesus. And I was wondering how he was able to maintain control, because that car would have been all over the place. And then when the guy bailed out, I was able to get a look on the back end where it said Charger, AWD. Yeah, all-wheel drive. That's why he was able to keep up with that pickup truck through that mud and everything. Man, I'll tell you what. Back roads like that are something you only see in movies. It's hard to believe they still exist. I mean, you could tell, obviously, that road isn't really well traveled. But, man, that guy knew all the back roads to try to lose that trooper. And that trooper was on him like stink on shit. I kind of thought you'd enjoy that. You and I kind of have the same likes in certain videos. Speaking of video, oh, here comes Mr. Puerto Rican Dance Band. Yeah, this morning, I'm laying in bed watching TV. It's about, matter of fact, it was exactly 2:10 because I happened to look at the clock above the TV. And right in the middle of this really interesting interrogation video, my TV goes back to the home screen. So I got my Roku remote, and I'm pushing the back button. I'm like, God damn it. I just put brand new batteries in this thing Tuesday. They can't be dead already. And I'm pushing the buttons, putting in the button. Nothing's happening. So unfortunately, I got to get my ass out of that nice warm bed. And I check my Roku box, and it's dead. So I unplugged the power cord. I unplugged the HDMI. I plugged the HDMI back in. I plugged the power cord in. Nothing. My Roku box has now gone to the land of deceased Roku boxes. Although luckily, I have YouTube programmed into my favorites in the TV. So I was able to go back watching. But that dinky dipshit fucking remote is fucking worthless. First of all, it's so tiny and skinny. And it doesn't have a pause like Roku. You can pause the video. And then if you want, you can hit the down button and it will bring up upcoming videos and you can switch. No, can't do that with the fucking Samsung remote. So, first thing this morning, on eBay, ordered me a brand new Roku box. And luckily, Roku remotes work with every single variation that they make. Because they have like a Fire Stick, and then it goes to the big advanced box. Because I just ordered a brand new remote. And the reason I ordered it is because it's illuminated. So at night, I can see all the buttons on the remote. I was like, God damn it. Although I can't complain because I have probably had that Roku box easily 10 years. Easily. And I use it constantly. But yeah, I'm watching, and all of a sudden, home screen. I'm like, what the fuck? Originally, I thought it was the little power pack. So I have a couple of brand new power packs in my dresser. So I grabbed a brand new power pack. I plugged it in. I plugged in the USB cord. Nothing. I was like, oh, maybe it needs a reset. Unplug the wires. Push the little reset button on the back. Plug everything back in. Nothing. Holy shit, I just fried my eye. Oh, Jesus. Oh, now, do you have a Fire Stick from Amazon or a Roku stick? Because they both make sticks. Because my Roku box looks like a pack of cigarettes. Oh, okay. So I found a deal and I got the latest 4K ultra high def Roku box for like $23.99 and free shipping. At the Homeless Depot, it sells for $49.99. So half off, and I'll have it in about 3 days. I can put up with using that dipshit remote. But I couldn't believe it. Laying there watching TV, and all of a sudden, what the hell? Because well, I should have brought the remote in. I've showed it before, that little skinny black, the remote is like a Roku stick. That's how small it is. It's worthless. Like I say, they designed this beautiful crystal ultra high def TV, and then they get some little 5-year-old to design the remote. The only thing, I hope I don't have to reprogram. I'm hoping that since Roku's already in the TV, that I don't have to go through that bullshit of programming the box. Like last night, I turned the TV on and it wouldn't do anything. It was like frozen. And I'm trying to get shit to work. So I grabbed the Samsung remote and I'm clicking and it says, sign into your Samsung account. I don't have a Samsung account. Well, the TV wouldn't turn on until I created a Samsung account. And trying to use that dipshit little remote to, put in email and then password and this. Oh, God. I was about ready to throw the remote at the TV, and I was like, oh, nope, we'll break the TV. So I had to create a Samsung account. And before I got engrossed in watching the TV, I decided to grab a notepad and write down everything for the Samsung account, because if I ever have to sign into it again, I got more accounts. I got what? YouTube, Google. Hang on. All right. Facebook, YouTube, Google, Prism, which we don't use anymore, Spectrum. What else have I got? U.S. Post Office. What a pain in the ass. And you know, what really irritates me is everything today, you have to have a Gmail account. I don't use Gmail. I use AOL Mail. And I can never remember my damn Gmail account and password. So this morning, I printed everything out, and I have a copy here. I have a copy in the bedroom. Where's the third copy? In my dresser. I thought I lit this. Yeah, I ordered that off of Temu. It's like $2 password book. Instead of printing it out like this, I'll just copy everything down into the password book. Because, you know, you need for everything. My bank account, my credit cards, Temu, eBay. And, well, like, in order to do your cell phone, you have to have a Gmail account. I don't understand why you have to have a Gmail account when you don't use it. But in order, you know, when I buy a new phone, you gotta put your Gmail account in order to transfer everything from the old phone to the new phone. And then you gotta have a Gmail account for the TV set. And I've got so many accounts, I decided order the book. Because it's especially for passwords. And that way it'll be like my password Bible. Yeah, Gmail is Google. But I don't understand, if you've got an email account, why you can't use your own email account? No. You have to have, for your cell phone, you gotta have a Gmail account. Pain in the ass.
Awkward.
I had to run up to Dollar Tree. And I no sooner walked in the door, and the manager says to me, "We got something in that you'll like." I said, "Really?" She says, "Go back to the end of aisle 12 on the top shelf." I said, "Just tell me." "No, go back." So I go back. I look on the top shelf and I was like, holy shit. Spam hot and spicy singles. I bought the whole box of 12. Grabbed the whole box off the shelf. I said, "So you got any more?" She goes, "Nope, we just ordered them in to see how they'd sell." I said, "Well, they're selling all 12, mine." These are similar to the Tabasco flavored Spam. And she told me to come back Monday after 2 o'clock because they have a case of bacon flavored Spam coming in. And some more of these. Because she only got half the order today. I said, "Well, I'll be buying another box full." Yeah, hot and spicy singles. And basically, it's actually 2 slices in this pack. So tonight, this is going in my salad. I'm going to slice it up and put it in my salad. Hot and spicy Spam. And Monday, bacon flavored Spam. If this is similar, she was telling me that she tried it and it's like the Tabasco. If it's as good as I hope, I'm going to go online and I'll just order a goddamn case right from Hormel. Because that way I'll get it in the can. Yeah. Oh, I saw that. I grabbed the whole box. So I get up to the cash register, get the whole box. She goes, "Is there any left on the shelf?" I said, "No, I got the whole box." "You're not going to leave any for anyone?" "No." I said, "You're getting more in on Monday." She goes, "Yeah, and you'll be back and buy the whole box." I said, "Yes, I will." But tomorrow morning, I'm going to go on the Hormel. Because I'm pretty sure they still make Tabasco flavored. I'm pretty sure the last time I was on the Hormel website, they still make the Tabasco. And you can mix and match a case. So if I can mix and match, I'm going to order the hot and spicy, I'll order the Tabasco, I'll order the bacon, and there was one other that was my favorite. Oh yeah, the Jeffolino. The Jaffalino pepper spam. Because if you order direct from Hormel, you get a pretty good discount. If you order a case, which, hey, works for me. Mix and mash 12 cans. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this up in my salad tonight. Kick my salad up a bit. I was watching. I love watching the Arkansas State Trooper videos because they have a language all their own. Like anywhere else, a state trooper will say, "You're going to jail." Not in Arkansas. In Arkansas, you're going to fucking jail. Every trooper today, you're going to fucking jail. And police and troopers across the United States, when they're arresting someone, they'll say, "Get on the ground." Not in Arkansas. Their state troopers say, "Get on the motherfucking ground." You only hear it from Arkansas troopers. It's hilarious. They have their own. Evidently, when you go through the academy, they say, "All right, you got to learn the language. If you're going to be a trooper, you got to learn the language." Because I watched probably 20 videos, and it was 20 different troopers, and they were all the same. "You're going to fucking jail." "Get out of that car and get on the motherfucking ground." Although I love watching the Birdman. Oh, between him and Trooper, what's her name? Oh, God. Escamilla? Yeah, Trooper Escamilla. Because both of them were Trooper of the Year. He was, Birdman was Trooper of the Year like in 2023, and then she was Trooper of the Year in 2024. I love watching her. Holy Christ. There was one video, she busted the window and jerked the guy right out through the broken window. The one trooper's going, "I can't find the door lock." She was like, "Don't worry about it." Pull that guy right through the broken window. Threw him on the ground. I'm pretty sure I think I sent pictures of her when she was in college. In college, she was a very attractive young lady. In a trooper uniform, she looks like a big Samoan sumo wrestler. With that hair, looked like she's got a knob on top of her head. But that is one tough lady, I'll tell you. I wouldn't want to argue with her. And she knows the language too. Because it's amazing. The look on the arrestee's face when she goes, "Get on the motherfucking ground." Okay. I'm doing it.
WTF?
I thought I sent them. It's amazing. You don't recognize her. You see that cutie in college who was on the cross-country team, and I can't remember all the athletics that she did in college. And then you see her in uniform, you're like, holy shit. But I'll tell you what, between her and Trooper Bird, boy, Arkansas, they got two pit specialists. And I love watching the Birdman do a pit, no matter what speed, because I've watched him pit cars at 130 miles an hour, and he's just on the steering wheel, just think, and the car's, yeah, he just gets alongside, think, and never loses control of his car. I would almost guarantee that he spent weeks maybe months perfecting his pit maneuvers. Because if there is a pursuit, the city will ask, like Little Rock, Trooper Bird working? Yes. Can you send him to assist? God, there was one, it was in Little Rock, and they went from one end of the city to the other, and they couldn't get this guy stopped. And the guy goes to get up on the freeway, and here comes the Birdman, and everybody moves over, gives him room. He gets in front of the lead Little Rock officer. He spots the guy maybe 100, 150 yards ahead, pedal to the metal. The guy tried to do a maneuver. He brake checked him. But the Birdman, he recovered real fast and pits this guy, and the guy went off into the weeds. Because I remember after it was all over and they had the guy arrested, and the one Little Rock officer said, "We chased him from one end of town to the other. You get here, 30 seconds later, pursuit over." God, I saw Escamilla pit a pickup truck. Same thing. Dink. Pickup truck goes spinning, smashes into the center divider, goes across the road, hits the other divider. She gets out, busts the window, drags the guy out of the truck. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned that. I ordered new tires for the Passat, since hopefully next week I will own it. I got these, which I really didn't need. Ultra high performance, 50,000 mile warranty. Really, I'll tell you what, you talk about an aggressive tread design. I'm looking at these tires and I'm like, I'm never going to wear these things out. But I like the tread design and I like the price. $49.95 a tire. At Goodyear, the same tires are $98.50. The same exact tire. Because just before I ordered them, I went up to the Goodyear store and I walked in and I said, I'm looking for this tire. And the guy said, hold on, I'll bring one out. And he went in the back and he brought that tire out and I was like, holy shit, look at the tread on that tire. Look at the tread design. He says, I have 4 in stock. I said, I just wanted to see them. He goes, what do you mean? I said, I'm ordering them online. I brought this tire out and you're not going to buy it? No, I wanted to see it. Now that I saw it, I'm going home to order it. And free shipping. SimpleTire.com. I used to get tires from Tire Rack. And I'll tell you what, Tire Rack's prices have gone through the roof. So I was going down the line and I looked at Tire Mart. They were a little expensive. And then the next one down was Simple Tire. I got on the website. I put the size in that I wanted. And it gave me a list of like 30 tires. And I'm looking at them, and I spotted these. And I was like, wow, look at the tread design on that tire. And then I looked at the price. And I was like, I'm buying them. So after I went up to Goodyear and looked at them and pissed the salesman off, I came home and ordered them. And they should be here Monday. So then I went up to my little tire shop up around the corner. And I says to him, I ordered 4 new tires. How much to mount and balance all 4? $80. I says, okay, as soon as I get the tires, I'll be here. Because Goodyear, they want like $22 a tire to mount and balance them. No. Take that back. They want, wait a minute, let me find my note. $28.75 per tire to mount and balance. My little tire shop, $20 per tire. and they do free rotations. So I said, as soon as I get the tires, I'll be here. As a matter of fact, the guy told me, he said, we just got a brand new computerized balancing machine. I just got, good. Matter of fact, he says, come on, I'll show you. Come here, come here, come here. Because they were doing some tire work on a car in the garage. Puts a tire on the rim, you know, the tire and the rim on, spins it, locks it down, pushes a button, 20-inch, pushes start. That goddamn machine wound up like 500 miles an hour. And when it stopped, it showed on the screen how much weight to put on and where to put the weight, whether it be inside or outside. And then you put the weight on and push the button, and it double checks it. So as soon as the tires come, I'm going to wait until after the 15th. I want to legally own it before I put 4 brand new tires on it. Because the reason I'm putting new tires on is that car sat for 4 years on those Michelins, and when I washed the car the other day, I was going to put some tire sheen on, and I looked, and the sidewalls have like little cracks in them. And I was like, tires are dry rotted. Get rid of them. Even though I can't afford Michelins, these tires in 5 years will still be brand new. Because I hardly put any miles on. And like the guy at the tire shop told me, you could really get away with those tires. But I said to him, if I get on the freeway, that's another story. And I want to be 100% safe. If I get on the freeway, I want to know I'm not going to have a problem. So, unfortunately, I'll be kissing the Michelin's goodbye. But if I get on the freeway, I could be kissing my ass goodbye if one of them tires happens to go. My son's cat's in heat again. Cat goes in heat like every 3 weeks. So when the tires get here, Mr. OCD Grumpy is going to dress the tires up a bit. because I have a whole set of tire marking pens. So since we don't have white walls or raised white letters anymore, I will be taking my tire pens and doing a little artwork on the sidewalls. And then I'll go to get them mounted, and the guy will go, "Where the hell did you buy these tires?" Just mount and balance them. Yeah, besides having that really aggressive performance tread, they've got big wording on the tires. So I can fill in all the letters. RPX 900. And they have lightning bolts on the side, so I'm going to do them in white. Because I hate black wall tires. So I will be doing a little artwork on my tires. Yeah, when I got the tires for the RAV4, I did the same thing. I did a little artwork. And one day I went up to Mark's, and a guy was looking at the tires going, "Where did you buy those?" He goes, "You don't see that anymore." I said, "Well, I'll tell you where I bought the tires, and then I'll tell you where I bought the tire paint sticks." He looked at me and went, "What?" I says, "Oh, yeah." I says, I brought the tires into my back room, and while I was watching computer videos, I was coloring in all the words and numbers on the tire. The guy just looked at me, shook his head. But you got, yeah, I wish I could have found white walls, because I think the Passat would have looked really sharp with a set of white walls on it. You can't find them anymore. I went to 5 different tire websites, not one white wall. I think the last time white walls existed was when I bought tires for the shitbox, and that was 10 years ago. So I went on good old Temu, and I found tire paint sticks. And the box has a rainbow of colors. So when the tires get here, I will dress them up. And then after the 15th, I will have them mounted and balanced. And have a snazzy looking set of tires. Because Marianne, when I did the RAV4 tire, she goes, "Oh my God, isn't that tedious?" I said, "No, really, it was kind of relaxing." Because what I did was I brought up the stool, which is just the right height, and I sat here watching videos with a tire in front of me, painting the letters. And then I take it in the living room and I let them set to dry. And when I had all 4 of them done, I went up and had them mounted and balanced. And they still look sharp. I mean, unfortunately, I buffed the curb with the ones on the right side, but they still look really great. And if I got bored, I pulled off one at a time, and I sat out in the driveway and touched them up and then put them back on. So as soon as the tires get here, they're going to get spiffy.
Wow!
And the nice thing about these paint sticks is the tips are thin enough where you can actually do, small numbers, and they look factory. When I got done with the RAV4 tires, they look like they came from the tire factory that way. And it only takes like 30 minutes for it to dry. And then once it dries, you can put the tire sheen over it, really spiff up your tires. And everybody will know the Passat has new tires. They'll be like, whoa, look at those. I still say that was the worst thing that the American auto manufacturers did, was go with the European look. Well, American cars from back in the early 1900s had white walls. Every single car back in the day had white walls. And then we got into this European look, and white walls disappeared. Now, there is one manufacturer that makes white walls with gold trim. That's Vogue Tires. They have a white wall and then it's trimmed in gold. And they are sharp-looking tires. But they're expensive, and I'm told they don't wear for shit. Matter of fact, when I go past the high school, when the kids are getting out, there's always a line of cars because, the poor little sissies can't walk. And I don't know if it's a husband and wife or maybe two brothers, or there are two black Cadillacs with Vogue tires. And they look sharp. They really do. But they, from what everybody tells me, they don't wear for shit. You know, they rate them at 40,000 and you're lucky to get 20. But if you want to see what they look like, look up a Vogue tire. They are a very sharp looking tire. That's like these tires, you know, they're rated at 50,000 miles. I barely put 50 miles on in a month. I didn't need 50,000 mile rated tires. I could have got with a bottom line cheapy $38 tire. But I spotted this aggressive tread design and I was like, I got to have them tires. And they're all season. So for the price, I ordered them. God, my sister was telling me the Pirelli Scorpions that are on her Ford Edge are like $138 a tire. One tire. There is no way I would ever pay that kind of money. But she also drives from Vermilion to Brook Park 5-6 days a week. And she's on the turnpike. So she needs excellent tires. Plus, when she bought the car, she got the extended warranty, she got the glass warranty, she got the tire and rim warranty. So, if she ever has to have a tire replaced, that ain't going to cost her nothing. And then I found out my niece works for a big tire sales company. I got one that's a driver's ed teacher that can't drive, and the other one sells tires. And their mother builds engines. Holy shit! What are those, white walls for a Rolls Royce? Jesus! Holy shit! Although I read you have to look up Bugatti Veyron. It's a ultra limited production vehicle, and it's like $2 million. The tires for a Bugatti Veyron are $25,000 a tire. $25,000 a tire. Yeah, Coker is one of the largest sellers of white walls. Matter of fact, Coker makes them. But you pay the price at Coker. Yeah, because a Bugatti Veyron is rated at like 250 miles an hour. But the tires are $25,000 each. Because they're rated for like 300 miles an hour. I couldn't believe that when I read that. It was either in Car and Driver or I think it was in Car and Driver. Because they did a whole article, a road test, and they had the car over, oh God, what the hell's that? That track over in Germany. I can't think of the name of it. And they had that, they had a Veyron up to like 260 miles an hour. And then when they were doing the whole article on the car, they were saying that the tires were rated at 300 miles an hour and cost 25 grand each. No, not the Autobahn. It's that high-speed, like, racetrack, test track. Because all the auto manufacturers take their cars over there to do high-speed tests and that. I can't remember the name of that. It's like a 20-mile oval. I can't think of the name of it. The Autobahn is their fucking freeway in Germany. Because they have auto races on this thing and that. I can't remember the name of it. I'm drawing a blank. Drawing a blank. Nah, that's not ringing a bell. See, I don't get my auto magazines anymore, so I'm not up on everything like I used to be. Oh, I can't. Because every auto manufacturer goes over there and they buy time to do speed tests and maneuvering tests on their vehicles. Every manufacturer goes over to Germany at this facility. But they also have auto races over there. God, I can't think of the goddamn name of it. No, none of those names are. Because it's open to everybody. It's privately owned, and every manufacturer takes their cars over there. And I can't think of the name of the joint. Mm. Total blank. Yeah, I'm having a brain fart. It'll come to me like 3 in the morning. I'll be up in bed. That's it. God, I used to know it like my own name. But at that, years ago, I used to get every frickin' auto magazine printed. Auto Week, Car and Driver, Automobile, Hot Rod. I got every goddamn. Because every issue they would have, you know, the new Cadillac, whatever, STGPTQ, and they would take it over to that German, and they'd say, oh, the car's rated at 192 miles an hour, It did the track in 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Because there's two sections to it. Because one section is like the ultra high speed section. And then the other section is the not so ultra high speed section. Because in the high speed section, everybody tries to beat the fastest time. And I'm drawing a total blank on it. Because that Veyron, they had the Veyron up, it was like 299.9 miles an hour. They were trying to do the 300 and the car just wouldn't hit that 300 mile an hour sprint. Because that Veyron's got a goofy motor in it. It's got a W16. The engine is a W. A W16. And it's all hand built. It's the only car in the world that's got that engine. A W16. Of course, if you got $2-3 million, the hell do you care? Hey. Because on the Bugatti Veyron, in order to get to the engine, they literally have to disassemble the whole ass end of the car. You have to literally take the whole car apart to get to the engine. I think Tom Cruise owns one. I'm pretty sure I read Tom Cruise owns a Bugatti Veyron. Because if you look at the interior, everything is all the gauges are all analog. And I'll tell you what, the interior alone is gorgeous inside those cars. But you're also talking, a $2-3 million vehicle. But yeah, it's rated at 300 miles an hour, and it's got an oddball W16 engine in it. Because I remember they brought one out to Jay Leno's garage. And they went, I can't remember where, I think they went to the Los Angeles Police Department's private track. And the guy that, I don't know if he's a salesman or what, that brought the car, he would not give Jay Leno the high-performance key because it's got two keys. One key limits it to like 120 miles an hour, And then the other key allows you to do 300. Because when they went to get in the car, I can't remember if the high performance key was in a red key fob or something, and he handed Jay the black key fob, and Jay was like, "Oh, I don't get the other one," and the guy was like, "Nope." I don't know if they're still, I think production ended. I'm not sure if they have a new model coming out. Because they only build like 20 of them, maybe 25, maybe 50. Because one guy assembles the whole engine and he signs it. But it is the weirdest looking engine you ever wanted to see because it's a W16. Yeah, an oil change on a goddamn Bugatti Veyron is like $50,000. Of course, if you got that kind of money, you don't care, Because most people don't use them for daily drivers. God, that's, oh, man, I couldn't believe. A couple of weeks ago, my buddy's son has got a, what the hell is that Audi? A8? Oh, it's a high-performance Audi. I want to say an A8 RS or something. Oh, God, I can't remember that car. Oh, what the hell? I think it's an A8 RS or some shit. It's an ultra high performance Audi. Cost him like $130,000 or $140,000. He went in for a goddamn oil change. Oil filter, $800. $800 for an oil change. Oh, that could be what I'm thinking of, but like I say, it's been years since I even read about that test track. That could be it. But can you imagine going down to your local Goodyear and getting a set of tires, and the salesman coming out and goes, $25,000 a piece. What? Well, I think Continental, for the latest version of the Veyron, they developed a 300-mile-an-hour tire because they had gotten that Veyron up to 299.9. Oh, it's a drop-dead gorgeous car. Absolutely front to back, top to bottom, inside out. It is a drop-dead gorgeous automobile. Yeah, I almost fell out of the chair. Because I was bitching about the price of synthetic oil that I have to use, in the Passat. And his son went, "What are you complaining about?" He said, "I just got an oil change in my Audi and it was $800 and some dollars." I said, "What did they pour in that crankcase? Gold?" $825 for an oil change. And his son didn't think too much, it goes with the car. He said, it goes with the car. Who needs a car that's going to take an $800 oil change? And he was telling me that there's a top-end performance BMW that the oil change is over $1,000. And people pay this shit. Christ, I go up to AutoZone and bitch. Goddamn, 5 quarts cost that much? Yeah, I think 5 quarts and a filter was like almost $40. Because I had Ryan change the oil, and I told him, I said, well, I only got to do this once a year. Because they tell you you can go 15,000 miles between oil changes. It would take me 10 years to put 15,000 miles on a car. Yeah. I got 1 turbo. That goddamn car's got 4. I can almost imagine putting your foot to the boards and them 4 turbochargers open up. God, it's got to throw your ass back into that seat. Oh, gee. I'm bitching about 5 quarts. You're 7. Holy shit. Yeah, my Passat takes 4.5 quarts. So you got to buy the 5 quart, God, that's like my buddy's semi. It takes 44 quarts of oil. I wouldn't want to pay for that oil change. Holy shit. Yeah, we were sitting around and I'm bitching about fucking 5 quarts. And my buddy's son, he goes cross country. He's a cross country trucker. He says, "What are you complaining about?" He goes, "I go to get an oil change in my Volvo and it's 44 quarts." Oh man, I saw the truck for the first time a couple weeks ago because he had to lay over, and matter of fact, he parked it in the back parking lot at Mark's. And he said, "You want to see my rig?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, because I drove semi for a while." God damn, what a gorgeous truck! And it's got all the comforts of home: flat screen TV, microwave, refrigerator. What else did it have in it? Oh, it's got a workstation for a computer, all kinds of storage. Oh man, closets. Beautiful truck. Absolutely beautiful truck. And it's a 13 speed. He wouldn't let me drive it, god damn it. I wanted to take it around the block. But just absolute it's like a truck with a camper attached to it. I mean, absolutely everything under the sun. Matter of fact, the refrigerator in the truck is like my dorm refrigerator in my bedroom. Refrigerator, freezer, and the microwave is like my Westinghouse. It's a microwave convection air fryer. He's got a sink. And the cab floats. It's an air ride cab. And he said when you're going down the road, you don't feel a bump at all because the cab is mounted on big airbags. I crawled up in that thing. I was like, holy shit. I said the only thing it didn't have was a washer dryer. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I can't remember what model Volvo it is. Whatever, it's the top of the line. Because he goes coast to coast. Because he was picking up a load in downtown Cleveland and it wasn't ready. So he had to lay over for 3 days. So he calls his father and says, "Hey, meet me up at Mark's. I'm going to park it in their back lot. And then I stopped over and he goes, "You want to see my rig?" I said, "Yeah, where is it?" He goes, "It's up the street." Let's go. Beautiful. Plus, he must have $50,000 worth of chrome on this thing and lights. Oh, does he have lights? Oh, God. He lit that thing up. I was like, oh, I'm in heaven. But it's a beautiful truck. Oh, man. Beautiful truck. I would have liked to have driven it. Although I'd have been a little rusty. I haven't driven a 13-speed in years. Because you got to get the feel of them. Because basically, you don't use a clutch. After you come out of first, you don't you don't even put your foot on the clutch. You shift by RPM. And you'll just drop it in the next gear. But I haven't driven one of them in ages. I'd have been grinding. Sorry. I just took the sharp edges off them gears for you. I smoothed them out. I never thought I would ever use the word gorgeous with a frickin' semi-tractor. But this thing was just absolutely... And then he doesn't have to idle it like if he's out west and it's snowstorm. It's got a separate unit that heats the truck. So he doesn't have to run the engine. He just pulls up and flips a switch and this auxiliary heating unit comes on. It's got a heating unit generator, so he can set the thermostat for, 68, lay back in the bunk and watch the flat screen, reach over in the microwave and take out a snack. And like he said, these big truck stops like Truck Stops of America and that, he said basically you go in and you pay a fee and you shower and then you come out, you can eat, The truck even has a porta potty. He said, in case you're in between truck stops. He opened the cabinet, pulled it out. I said, you fucking toilet? You don't have a washer and dryer, but you got a toilet. It's amazing what these new trucks are like. But you got to figure, you know, you're living in it. You got to have amenities. Yeah, I was sitting on the edge of the bunk, and I'm looking at the microwave and everything. He goes, open that cabinet right there in front of you. Open the cabinet up. He says, now, grab the lever and slide the thing out. I grab the lever. Out comes a porta potty. I was like, holy shit. He goes, that's right. Everything but a washer and dryer. And storage, oh my God, I couldn't believe cubbies here, cubbies there, a full-length wardrobe. How they fit all that stuff in that truck is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But like he said, you know, I'm going from Vermont to Washington State. I can't stop at a truck stop all the time. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. The one thing I didn't ask him is how much that truck was. I bet you easily 250,000. Easy. If not more. Especially with all the chrome and lights, and he lit that thing up. It was like an LED Christmas tree. Even the CB changed colors. And it was like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, red, green, blue, yellow. Matter of fact, I was going to look Cobra CBs up to see how much that was. That was a treat, though, because I haven't been in a semi since the fucking 70s. Mine had a bunk. That was it. This thing had a camper. Absolutely amazing. Hey! Oh, you're late. You're late. Your belly alarm just went off? Again, he don't have his eyes open. What'd you do, jump out of bed and run in here? He's sitting there, one eye open. You're a trip. All right, I know, it's feed the belly time.
That's it, I'm through.
All right, people, I have to feed the walking belly. Even though he's only got one eye open. Looks like he's still asleep. You're a riot.
We'll
We know where, right here, WDWL TV, home of not one, but 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and an Oscar, and hot and spicy spam. All right, everybody take care. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we will meet again right here tomorrow night. And with that, have a wonderful evening. See ya. Bye-bye.